It's not 10,000 hours of blood, sweat, and tears. It's 10,000 hours of enjoyment and play. And after that, you become successful. Make sure all the time you spend, you're learning something.
How do I make sure I find the right balance between getting too addicted to video games and try to make something out of it too? You have any suggestions on that, just out of curiosity?
I think the most important thing is make every minute count. Learn as much as you can and apply it. Because if you read my book, a lot of the examples I use in coming up with a framework is that, hey, first of all, the games I play, like Diablo 2, like StarCraft, even like Farmville, Candy Crush. And then I talked about how, for instance, Wikipedia applies Core Drive 1 Epic Media Calling, and then eBay applies Core Drive to Development Accomplishment. So technically, everyone in the world who has played the games I played and used eBay and Wikipedia, they could have come up with the Octalysis framework and wrote the book, right? But I think that goes back to 10,000 hours of play. We'll call it 10K HP. 10K HP step 2, attributes. I had the attribute to observe my experience and be self-aware and understand, okay, why did I do this? What was motivating me? And I came up with that framework that now if you go to Google Scholar, you'll see more than 3,000 PhD thesis academic journals referencing my framework. So I was observant of that, right? And I think so that's number one. Make sure all the time you spend, you're learning something. Case in point, I actually skipped out on World of Warcraft all through my younger years because I see my friends playing it. I know I'm going to be super addicted to it. And then it finally got to a point where everyone got old enough where I had clients who grew up with World of Warcraft, okay? Like a CEO of some big crypto company, and they're using terms from World of Warcraft like soulbound, which is now the main language in Ethereum and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, I gotta play the game. I gotta learn it. And then literally like 1,000 hours went by when I started playing World of Warcraft and more. But I didn't make that go to waste because I immediately applied 2 or 3 strategies and I learned from that to the clients I were working with. And so, I just kept leveling up. So I think number one is that. Number two, it's good to recognize that you are the ultimate player in the ultimate game, like in the real world. When you are playing a video game, you're leveling up a character, but your main character, which is yourself, is stagnant, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine if you played a video game where every time you walk by a computer, you're just stuck for 3 hours. Like you can't move this character anymore. You're going to be so frustrated. Like, no, leave this computer. Let's go out and kill monsters and level up. Right? Build allies, do quests, right? So when we're addicted to games, it literally is that. Like we walk by a television, we walk by a computer, and then we're just there sitting there doing nothing, not leveling up. Yeah. So it's important to remember that. And so the whole point is it's not about trying to be disciplined and like I have to do these things I don't like. It's really changing mentality. Think this is actually fun. This is actually building a character, and there's so many builds possible. There's so many skills to learn, so many quests to do. And start seeing that in the right perspective. And even when we face challenges, I talk a lot about like if you played a game and you just keep going forward, and you beat the game, that's a super boring game, right? No one wants to play that. So the game has to artificially add in enemies, frustration, pits, and things that kill you, right? To give you a challenge so you can learn. And people want that. But in the real world, when people face obstacles and opposition, they're like, oh, why does my life suck so much? I feel so bad. But when you look at a game, the same thing. Every enemy and opposition is a opportunity to get more points, right? Level up and become awesome. Right. So that same mentality, I think just even that one mentality out of like 300 possible things you can learn from this and applying to your life, I think your life changes altogether. Like now you favor opposition and you focus on your growth.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that personally took me a while to learn was competition. Being like kind of what you talked about with leaderboards, there was another app marketing agency that wrote a blog post and I was like, holy cow. And they had made like 2 million in their first like 14 months or whatever it was. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm not even close to that. Like I felt like really crappy about myself. So 2 years later, fast forward a little bit, that agency is no longer around. And, they had their own issues and, but I don't know the details of it, but I also felt like, well, enduring is possible. Like, did I take a lesson out of this? And my main lesson was, I don't focus on the competitors. I don't care what you are doing. I'm happy for you and I'm glad, but I'm also not going to focus my feelings and my self-worth based off of your numbers and your leaderboard. Because ultimately, if we look back at the last 10 years, I'm now winning and you've now lost. But if you looked at it in that moment in time, I was losing. But, Just endure. That's what I've learned
Yeah,
from business.
yeah.
Just endure.
And this is common for people playing games. Like,
Yeah.
we talked about World of Warcraft. When you sign up to a game like World of Warcraft, you're level 1. You'll look at, and you have like the most basic gear ever. And then you finish a quest and the person gives you like some dirty socks as your reward, because you don't have socks. But then you look at other players, they're like, wow, level 35, level 40, and they have amazing looking gear and they're riding like a dragon or something. And you're like, wow, like most of the time, you're not like, oh, I feel bad about myself, I don't want to play this game anymore, right? It actually makes you excited, like, hey, I could be like that one day. And you work harder, and then I said level 35, and that's actually not so high, actually. So you could actually go way past level 35, and then maybe that level 35 player, they stop playing or they weren't as competitive. So it's just, like I said, just focus on your own growth. Plus, a lot of times these people are playing different roles in their game. They're doing a different game and they're playing different roles in the game. So it's almost like, hey, you are a healer and you're like upset that someone else is doing more damage than you. It's like, well, you're just playing a different role, right? So focus on how to be your best self. I think that's the best thing, to just even enjoy life, become successful, but also enjoy life while getting. That's why it's called 10,000 hours of play. It's not 10,000 hours of blood, sweat, and tears. It's 10,000 hours of enjoyment and play, and after that, you become successful.
Yeah, no, I love it, and you said it perfectly. I couldn't have said it any better. Like, we were different roles and we were on different missions too. Like, my mission was just to have a business that supported my lifestyle and be with my family, and I was living that. But yet, when I looked at the mission of somebody else, kind of like you said it best, it's like, I'm a healer, but he's doing more damage, and I'm getting jealous that he's doing more damage. But like, but I'm the healer. You know what I mean? Like, why am I basing my mission off of somebody else's, or my role off of somebody else's role? So I love that, dude. That's why I pulled this up when you were talking, and you
it's perfect. And that's a perfect example. And like, you have more sustaining power than he did. So.